Hello and welcome to your Sunday shopping. My name's Carla King-Turner with the gorgeous Karen Ledbury.
Oh, I love that introduction. Keep going, keep going. Speaking of gorgeous, we've got a brand new pack throughout this hour and we are launching Breathe again. I haven't seen Breathe here for a little while here at TVSN.
Before Christmas.
Yeah,
right on Christmas maybe.
Yeah, I think so. No, certainly not in the new studio, so we've got the opportunity of having a look at a system that offers you so much. We often talk about air purification. In fact, a lot of you have seen the organic shows that we've had here at TVSN. What Breathe offers you is the fact that you've got purification, you've also got ionization, you're also looking at aromatherapy, which we'll talk about in depth throughout this hour, but you're also looking at a humidifier. So if you do tend to get that extra moisture, you know, if you want that extra moisture in the air, if you do tend to get the dry skin, and now is the time to get something like this at home, because when we start thinking of putting our bar heaters on, when we think about putting, you know, that air conditioning on, our skin dries out, so keep your skin moist. And light therapy.
We've got a little bit of light therapy, so we've got a whole other dimension to the Breathe. Because, you know, quite often it's quite funny that we spend so much talking about something we can't see and we can't feel and we can't touch, but it has a profound effect on our health. And we know that humidifying the air helps with our skin and our breathing. We've seen testimonials and emails come through from customers who said, I've had a major change in my health from correcting the air in my home. But what about a little bit of colour therapy? That's definitely going to lift your mood. And today we are launching the brand new base, which is going to give you some colour therapy in your life.
Yeah, I love that because it's great for kids as well. If you have got a nursery at home or if you've got kids at home that get up in the middle of the night and go off to the toilet, this is just something that is nice to have that light in the background. Light therapy is something very comforting for kids as well. A lot of people have those little portable fish tanks or the little lava lamps in their kids' room to be able to help calm and soothe the kids. This is actually working tenfold with so many different benefits right across the board. And also those of you that are asthma sufferers or allergy sufferers, get onto this today because it really does make a difference.
And Kaz, I'm sure you'll agree with me because I have an Organics and 2 Breathe. If you have Organics right now, you can add Breathe. They work in harmony together because you are getting the ionisation from your Organics and then you're getting the added benefit of the aromatherapy, the humidifying in the Breathe unit, and therefore you're taking control of your entire home.
You're holistically working on your health, on your well-being. And I think these days when we think about stress, we think about stress at work, financial stress. We're seeing in the newspapers every day, interest rates going to go up, housing prices going up, income not going up, groceries going up, everything's going up. And you do start to get that real stress, panic feeling. Therefore, you're putting a stress on your relationships and then the kids feel it. And it's just a vicious cycle. Breathe, for me, is something where I can have it on and I can go through that stage where I just take that 5 to 10 minutes out. And I know that my air is cleaner. I get a lot more energy from that because, as you know, and you'll soon find out when you've got your little bambino at home, being a full-time mum and a full-time employee is really hard work. And you do get excessively tired. And those mums out there, and I feel for you this morning, you've probably been up all night, they're teething, or they've got, you know, vomiting diarrhea, which happens every other week. You know, one minute they're really sick, the next minute they're really healthy, colic, you know, all of the things. If you've been up in the middle of the night and you've woken up this morning feeling like you've been hit by a Mack truck, Breathe is something that allows you to get that minimal, if you're getting minimal sleep, to get maximum benefit from that sleep.
And of course the benefit of aromatherapy is that you are going to get you know, prevent getting colds and flus and prevent getting sick. Now what we're going to do is get straight into previews. We're going to preview everything, including our brand new pack. Now this is our starter pack built with the brand new LED light base. Now that all comes together, it's definitely the most affordable way of getting this into your home. You get the Breathe unit as well as the base, as well as your 4 essential oils, which are in a base of tea tree oil. They have the natural antiseptic properties, and they are the only oils that you want to use in your Breathe unit. You don't want to use your normal aromatherapy oils because these are water soluble. So you are getting your 4 flavours, the lavender, the peppermint, the rose and the green apple. So mix them up.
And a lot of people that think, okay, water soluble, I've got other water soluble oils. These also have a base of tea tree, which is antibacterial, antifungal. So that's why you need to use the Breathe oils. Incidentally, the oils in that were eucalyptus, rose, jasmine and green apple. And there's your LED base. So if you are someone who wants to utilise the light aromatherapy and you've already got Breathe at home, then this is a unit that not only will let you turn on the lights and have those multitude of colours, I think there's 7 or 8 colours, then you've also got the opportunity to lock it on a specific colour. And in particularly, you might want to lock it onto that electric blue because that is meant to be the most calming and soothing colour.
Yeah, because you just wait for it to come up, then you lock it on. Now, we always have a huge amount of our individual flavours go. Today, we're introducing 2 brand new flavours, one in the green tea. So this is going to be really refreshing and uplifting, very cleansing. Yeah, definitely detoxifying. Now, these are the big sizes. These are 200 mils, I think, from memory, $29.50. They last forever. You just do a splash of this in your water, in your Breathe unit. You top it up maybe with, as far as the oils go, maybe once every day or 2. If you want to refresh the water, you can. I find that the water, because it's humidifying, it actually decreases down and you need to fill it up every couple of days.
And for those of you who are wondering how long these 200 mils, you use 15 mils per unit, which lasts you for 48 hours. So you're only using 15 mils every 48 hours, which will basically last you around about a month.
Yeah, and I use less than that because I quite often find that, you know, only you need about half that for my size.
Yeah, I agree.
Now, we also have peach, that was $29.50, but we also have the starter pack. So if you do want to get yourself the starter pack without the LED, we've got that available. It's always been our most popular pack. It's back in stock. And what I do recommend, if you are thinking, maybe you've already bought the starter pack last time and you're thinking, oh, I'd love to get that LED, but I really do want to get the benefits of Breathe elsewhere in the house, then get the brand new pack. Yeah. Because you're going to get 4 more oils, you're going to get the LED base, as well as a second Breathe unit for your house. It will do around about 800 square metres, 80 square metres. So you're finding it's going to do your average, you know, home.
3-bedroom home.
Yeah. But if you've got maybe a split level
or a concentrated area, I know that some people have mold and mildew in a part of their house. You can put this in and it helps alleviate that. For people who have, and you know, it doesn't matter what area of the home. I know that a girlfriend of mine, she was having her first baby and she got all excited and she set up the nursery and she got one of those nappy things, you know, you put the nappy in and it puts it in a bag and keeps it in there. And she said it stank the house out even more because the nappies were sitting in there and it was sort of permeating from the thing. And it doesn't matter whether you change the nappy, you get rid of the nappy straight away. There is a lingering smell. I often find that if I put the Breathe, and I've got one of the little NA50s, the organics, actually plugged into the bedroom room, so I have that running for about 12 hours a day, and then I've got this outside where all the kids and the hallway can sort of benefit. And we've got a 2-story house, so we've got an organics downstairs, the Breathe, and we've also got that. So if you are, we talk about the organics as well because they are 2 totally different units, and if you are utilising those systems, you can incorporate this because
they
it's
work
holistically
really well together. I mean, like you, I've got a Breathe upstairs, one downstairs, and then I've got the organics actually right now in the baby's room because we painted. You know, so we painted, and we also got the new buggy that, have you ever smelt the wheels?
The leather and the wheels.
Oh my God.
Nobody tells you about the rubber smell from the wheels.
It was horrendous, and I was out in the back lawn, you know, just pretending to use it for, you know, trying to make the wheels get used, and I couldn't get rid of it. I just put it next to the organics, and then I also put it next to, I had a Breathe in there. I had everything going, and the smell's gone. But because basically we're not talking about masking agents here. We're talking about ionization, purification, humidifying, as well as aromatherapy. So we're actually bombarding those air particles that are harmful to our health, harmful to our family, and we're not just masking it with smell.
No. That's right. And for a lot of you, you will be saying, okay, well, how does it do that? We'll talk to you about that throughout the hour. But these are the kind of things that Breathe is effective in combating. Flu, that's going to be prolific in the wintertime. Viruses, allergies and bacteria. So if you do tend to suffer from hay fever, asthma, you know, they're all related. They're all part of the one family. So if you are someone who suffers that, eczema, dermatitis, it's all part of the asthma family as well. So if you are someone that suffers that, get onto the Breathe and have that bacteria. Martin's going, is it really? It is. Hay fever, asthma and dermatitis are all part of the one family. And you usually find someone who's an asthma sufferer will get some sort of eczema and will also be some sort of hay fever sufferer, or you might end up with one or the other
So
in
you
the
can
family.
hit the nail on the head
Yeah.
with all of them. Now, of course, also we're going to benefit from the aromatherapy. Of course, we know that releasing aromatherapy oil is essential in therapeutic grade, which a lot of these oils are, into the air are going to benefit us in so many different ways, from our well-being to our state of mind to our health. And of course, we're also ionizing the air. Now, when we talk about ionizing, we will go into that, but I want you to imagine the air that you're breathing as you're walking along a beach or through a forest that's just had a rain. That is ionization. There are more negative ions in that air than positive ions. The ions that are in the city or in a very stressful situation or in maybe quite a polluted area can be, something like 80% negative, positive ions, which are bad. That's what make you feel bad. And it can be the difference between like 100, actually I'll give you the exact number. In a traffic jam, for example, negative ions do not exceed 100 to 120 ions per cubic centimetre, whereas in the high country near waterfalls, 4,000 negative ions.
And the negative ions are what are good for us. So let's take you through the unit and talk about each process. We're going to start by air purification. Now, this unit doesn't segregate the different, it's all happening at the one time. And if I can, I'm just going to turn this unit completely around the other way so that you can see how we get started. When you get the unit at home, you will notice that these two compartments will be two completely separate compartments. They are an incredible, I might take that base off for a second. We might turn that off so that we can just see the unit on its own, because we need to cover this for you. Now, you'll get these two separate units on their own, and they are actually made of a quality hard grade plastic. Now, even though I'm turning the unit off, I just want to show you this. So you've got your level. This is where it says to fill up the water. That will get you 48 hours of use. However, as we have seen by customers, after 2 to 3 hours of plugging breathe in, if you've never had any sort of air purification in your home, after about 2 to 3 hours, you do need to change that water, because you'll look at it and it's a bit grey.
You know what, that's the thing for me, because this now becomes something I can't see or feel or touch, becomes a very visual thing.
Yeah.
When we painted, that water that would normally be murky after 2 days, and probably half, it actually, goes down because it's humidified, was not black, it was like a chemical dust was in there.
Wow.
Yeah, it was like it was almost like, when you have in the old days Disprin, and it would all go really cloudy. And you could actually almost see particles in there.
And that happened after the paint.
After the paint, the breathe was like, it was putrid. It was really bad. And now
those chemicals normally would be going into the lungs of your kids and into the lungs of you.
Exactly.
We did that in our office when we painted it. I actually turned the unit on and then shut the door and left it in there for a full 2 days so that I wasn't breathing in the particulate. So what happens is you fill that up with water. You also put about 15 mils, it suggests, but as Carla said, you can vary that to however many that you feel appropriate. But do remember that it is the oils that works. It's not just the filtration with the water. You do need to add the oils because it is the tea tree within the unit that actually kills the bacteria before we go back into the air. So air is working underneath this grey lid through the system, and there's a fan we'll show you a little bit later on. We'll show you how to clean that spins it around, cycles it through the water. That's why we have the bubbles within the water, because it's actually cycling around. And the tea tree within the water soluble oils that you get with your unit today are killing the fungus and killing the bacteria. And then out through the top, through the perforated holes, you have not only a very slight, and I could hold my hand there for 2 days and my fingers still wouldn't get wet.
No.
It's not a wet solution, so it's not going to cause dampness. But out of that, you've got a slightly moist air. So this is where the humidifier is working, and your pure, crisp, clean air is going through there, along with the smells of the aromatherapy.
Yeah, so all of that polluted air, the smoke, the smog, all of that is then trapped in the water. It's basically brushing and cleaning the water and the tea tree oil. It's really important that the marriage is complete with the oils and the water and the way that this fan works on the inside. It's a very unique a combination of technology. So it's called hydro cleaning, and basically it's scrubbing the air, so the air coming back out is purified, but it's also enhanced with the aromatherapy, and it's also enhanced with that humidity. Now it's also, you can see here, it runs, because we're all talking about green power at the moment, on like a light globe.
It's less than a light globe. I know, it costs you something like what is that, 3 cents? I thought it was 3 cents a week, but I could be wrong on that.
I think
you
I've
might
got it,
even
yeah.
just check those details. But it's incredibly affordable to run this. And, you know, I always think, for me, if I was working in an office environment here at TVS, and we don't sort of have an office environment, we're in and out of the offices so many times, but I know that the girls upstairs and the people in the call centre have their Breathe running, simply because you can run this for 24 hours and you're constantly cleaning the air. And I think as far as productivity is concerned, you know, we spend so many days off a year with colds, flus, bacteria, fungus, infections, all the rest of it, and the Breathe is really helping to combat that. Now, we might get our lights turned down really low, because I quite like the experience of this.
It's very soothing. I mean, there's been a lot of talk about, you know, colour therapy, and you can pick between your 8 different colours. I mean, there's the green. If you really do want to create an ambience in your home, maybe even for dinner parties and so on, or for parties or a cocktail party, you can set it onto the rotating 8 colours. It can replace a lamp.
You can keep it at one particular light. So you can either have the blue, or you can have the yellow, or you can have the green, or you can have them just working individually throughout the room with all of the different smells and all of the different colour light. Have a look at that in the kitchen as well. Makes a big contrast.
Oh, speaking of kitchen, I mean, we're not just talking about pollutants, you know, in the majority of the house, but cooking smells that are there after you've cooked, or, you know, the prawns that have been left in the bin at Christmas time. You know, all of those different areas of the house. You can move your Breathe right around the house and concentrate like you did. Close the door.
And you can empty the water out of it. As I said before, it's made by a really high quality plastic, but it is plastic. So you can throw it into your bag and take it to work every single day with you. And as you said, Carla, you don't use the full 15 mils. You can half fill the water.
I just do
it doesn't
splash.
have to be filled to work. You can have a small, tiny amount of water in the bottom that will last you 12 hours or 8 hours, and then put the right amount of oils in and just have it running while you're at work.
You know, I've done quite a few tests on it, letting it run right down to dry, and it will actually eventually, it does have a thermal cutout, so if the temperature goes above a certain degree, it'll turn off. Otherwise, it just keeps humming along, even when there's no water in there. So there's no problem. That's completely safe, and it's actually proving to me that I'm getting humidified air, because we do have an air conditioner at home, and that I find it really dry.
Oh, it does, and we've only had our air conditioner for about 18 months now, and I found exactly the same. My skin was so dry.
And your eyes get itchy and sore.
And your legs get itchy in winter. You know, when you get undressed in winter and your skin's dried out. Whereas with a humidifier, you've got that moisture going on in the air as well, which is awesome.
4 things. You normally you'd need to buy 4 different machines to get this. So you're getting it all in the one unit. Now we add the colour therapy, and can I also tell you a little bit of sound therapy? Yeah. Because I was telling you before the show that I finished my prenatal classes yesterday. Oh. And one of the
How many weeks are we now? 32 weeks?
32 weeks now, so just 8 weeks. But who's counting?
You do until you hit 40, and then you go, okay, 41 Monday.
I like to think it could be 6 weeks, you know, because anywhere from 38. The settling techniques, a lot of them were, you know, if you can't find your baby settling, then you can buy those sound machines that have like... And this is the white noise they're talking about. The noise that the baby's familiar with in the womb is that whirring, like, you know. And that's what you're getting with this as well, is a very subtle white noise, really, really calming.
Yeah, and also if you are in your bedroom and you've got it and you think, oh, what's that noise to describe? When I have it on in the middle of the night, when there's no, you know, cars, no traffic, it just to me sounds almost as if I'm beside the ocean. You've got that real calming, as if you're on a tropical island somewhere.
And it's really, we can add another 5th dimension to this unit now. Or actually 6, because colour and sound on top of humidifying, on top of cleansing, on top of ionising. And
purification,
as well.
I know, it just keeps on going. There is so many benefits to have this machine at home. And I'm talking about particulate that's in and around the air when we think about our indoor air quality being 20 times worse than that of our outdoor air quality. It's mortifying to think that we need to purify our air. I often find also, if you are selling your home, for me, for $169, a lot of people say burn coffee, do this, do that.
Bake muffins.
But what about if you're selling a house and somebody walks in and they are not a coffee drinker, or they're put off by the smell of certain cooking odours? You might have a husband and wife who, like you, are pregnant. And I know that when I was pregnant, there were smells that I've loved my whole life. that I couldn't go near. My sister-in-law, Anita, and a big hello to Mark and Neat if you're watching, but Neat has always loved fragrance. There was not one perfume, there was not one up. My brother had to throw out all of the aftershaves because she went really sensitive to all types of smell. Aromatherapy is something that our bodies identify with. It's something that brings it back to nature. And it means that you can have this in your home. And to me, I would have peppermint eucalyptus if I was selling a house, because it's something very uplifting, sets a really good mood for the house. But if you wanted to create, maybe if you lived in an area that had a beautiful backyard with trees, you might want to put, say, the lavender in to create that very calming, soothing environment. If you lived right beside a busy road, not only is this going to help get rid of the toxic smells coming in from the polluted atmosphere, but it's also going to perhaps create a calmness next to a busy road. If you've got a house that one room is full of mold and mildew, and all the techniques that real estate agents utilise to get rid of that smell, have this in that room.
Yeah, absolutely. And you know what? Something that you can do maybe is go out and wipe the window sills of the room closest to the street or the road, and just see what comes off. It's usually black, and that is exhaust fumes. So even though we are inside our home and we've got biological odours and we've got biological pollutants, there are dozens of chemicals coming in the moment you open a window, the moment you open a door. And what surprised me from that point of view is that the water, the dirty water from downstairs was different to upstairs because there were different pollutants. So
and you do have the 30-day money-back guarantee. So, Carla, you're going to notice that within 48 hours, 48 to 72 hours, you will start to see the water quality still retain its sort of darkness, its opaqueness. When you are utilising this on weeks on end, your water starts to get clearer and clearer because you're constantly keeping that environment clean.
Exactly.
Now, what we've talked about is we've talked about pollutants, and you might be saying, okay, well, my home is in suburbia. I've got lots of trees, lots of nature. My office is all closed up, so I don't have to worry about the pollutants coming in. Did you know that every single day you have got dead skin cells, cockroach feces? And I know you're probably thinking, I haven't had a cockroach in my house for years. I tell you what, they're everywhere. And that floats around the house. As we learnt from the Germ Terminator, which is another product here at TVSN, we talk about disinfecting our toothbrushes. If the feces and so forth from us going to the toilet is attracted to our toothbrushes, where else is it going in the air?
Oh,
I mean,
not to mention pets.
Oh, and when they go to the bathroom, you smell the smell in the house. And some people have a particularly aromatic fragrance when they go to the toilet. That fragrance is in the atmosphere. You can smell it. So how do you think you smell that smell? It is the particulate from
particles
going to the bathroom that is floating around that you're breathing in. As soon as you smell something, you know that whatever bacteria is in that foul smell, be it stinky sand shoes, bathroom smells, shower smells, pet smells, all of that particulate is actually going into your lungs. It's kind of scary, I think.
I think it is kind of scary, and I'm interested that you said dead skin cells. In the paper yesterday, you know how they have the number cruncher. By the age 75, we shed 40 kilos of dead skin cells.
Get out.
No, serious. So, well, think about it. We exfoliate every day. 40 kilos. I'm sure I've got that right. 40 kilos of dead skin by the age 75. So
and a lot of that you've breathed in. And you're not only breathing in, some people could probably
other
live with the fact that they're breathing in their own dead skin. But what about the dead skin cells of your cat, your dog, your bird?
Exactly.
And also birds naturally produce a lot of bacteria throughout their feathers and so forth. And you only have to see it if you know someone with a bird cage, so they might have a budgie or a lorikeet or something, and they flap their wings and all of the particulate in the air. And we have had people, and I don't want to say that small particulate is going to kill you, but there have been incidences of people dying at a very young age from small particulate that actually has killed them, and we've learnt that again from the fabulous people of Organics. And as I said, this is working in conjunction with your organics because they're completely different.
Yeah, exactly. And like you say, it can aggravate conditions. Like if you've got asthma or allergies, that kind of thing can really aggravate and start at attacks. So really, I mean, we're a little bit behind the States. I mean, they've been, it's a huge industry over there, and we're only really starting to really grab it since we brought in Organics and Breathe to really realise that this is one of those building blocks to good health in our homes that we really do need to consider. And as Kaz said, take us up on the money back guarantee, because we're going to talk to somebody right now on the phone who's going to talk about how hard it was to believe that could make a difference.
Yeah.
And that is probably the most common response that I've had from people who have used the breathers. That I wasn't sure whether it would really make a difference, but I can't believe how different it has been.
And not just about their breathing experience, waking up with more energy in the morning, but also there are certain aromatherapy oils that help with things like arthritis, aches and pains, nausea during pregnancy, headaches, migraines. There are certain oils that are incorporated within the Breathe range that can help alleviate some of the ailments that you might be experiencing. And I've had emails myself from people who have said, I used to suffer from back pain. I don't have back pain anymore. I don't have anxiety anymore. I don't have insomnia anymore.
Yeah.
I mean, too many people can't be wrong. And if you are still a skeptic, if you are sitting at home saying, oh, that's a bit of mumbo jumbo, this aromatherapy stuff, if you haven't done your research, then chances are that's what you're going to think. But when you read about aromatherapy and you read about humidifiers, you read about air purification and just how vital it is in our life, and you might be one of those people that are skeptical, but do you drink bottled water? Do you have a filter on your water tap? If you're drinking purified water, your chances are you're worried about the particulate in your water. So why aren't you worried about the particulate in the air?
Exactly right. We wash our hands after everything. Now, we do have Ted on the phone line. Let's have a talk to Ted, shall we? Are you there?
How are you?
Hi, how are you?
Good, thanks.
Now, I actually read I read a little bit about your background. You were a bit of a skeptic when it came to the Breathe unit. Can you tell us your story?
I was, well, my wife gave it to me. I was having trouble breathing because of that bad emphysema.
Right.
And my wife handed me one day it was stinking hot, and my wife gave me come out and said, here, I bought you a Christmas present, have it early. It might help. And I looked at it because we've got all sorts of machines here that you buy. And I thought, oh, this is another one of these gimmicks. But anyway, I'll give it a go. Got up in the morning and said to my wife, thanks very bloody much. That's marvellous.
Oh,
Really?
wow.
Overnight?
Overnight?
The first night, I slept for at least a straight 6 hours, which is more than I've done for years.
And how long have you had emphysema for?
About 6 months.
Right.
And I still, I wake up, but then I can go straight back to sleep again. Within 10 or 15 minutes. Before I'd be laying there trying to count sheep. If I had to shoot that many sheep, I would have been a multi-millionaire.
So did you find that it was, a noticeable change in the quality of your breathing as well as your comfort level? What was the actual experience
Well,
for
I'll give
you?
you my doctor's reaction.
Really?
I was there on Wednesday this week, the chest clinic, and he said, I don't know what you're doing, mate, but keep on doing it. You're 15% better this time than you were last time you were here.
Wow.
I get goosebumps, Ted.
Love it.
I mean, for you, when you're hit with the chance of emphysema, obviously people think of it as in a chronic illness. It's very hard for somebody to live with emphysema. To see a 15% improvement rather than going back and hearing you've declined an extra few percent must have been life-changing for you as well.
My wife reckons I look a better colour, because I'm getting more oxygen in.
And your circulation, I mean, everything works better. Your circulation's better. You don't get those aches and pains in the backs of your legs anymore.
Nope.
And your breathing starts to be better. And a good point that you mentioned that is pertinent to everybody, whether you are suffering from a respiratory illness or not, is being able to fall straight back to sleep rather than being stuck awake is a big thing, I would suggest.
It is. It's been, laying in bed for 3 or 4 hours and thinking, God, I'd like to get to sleep.
Yeah, and of course, when it comes to breathing, we take it for granted because we do it naturally. If we don't have a condition, and as the moment we have a condition, we suddenly realise how important that oxygen is to our entire body. So, for you to be able to experience that overnight is incredible, and have had put up with it for 6 months and tried so many different things. It just comes back to we need to correct the air around us.
Well, if anybody tries to take it off me, I'll break their arms.
I want to say that, Ted. There are people out there, probably like you, when you thought, oh, here we go, another gadget. Here we go, another contraption that's going to not do anything for me.
I honestly thought to myself, I didn't say it to my wife because that would have been unkind.
Yeah.
But I thought, here we go again, another one. Just wasted another $100.
Yeah.
And but I only used the one. I only use the eucalyptus. I find that and tea tree oil.
Right.
Yeah.
I find that the best one for me. We did get the starter kit. Just if it was just wanted to smell stuff, the rose one was fantastic.
Yes.
But I treat it like as if it's a gold piece of gold.
Wow. What would you say to people out there that are still thinking, will I or won't I?
Well, if they want to come and try it in my house, they can come, but they can't take it away.
No.
They've got that 30-day money-back guarantee.
With a respiratory problem, well, I got one. I got a couple of the things that you put water and eucalyptus in, or water and something.
Yeah.
So you see them steaming up in the chemist.
Yes, yeah.
I got a couple of those sort of things. Till they're running out of my ears, you know.
Yeah.
And if you're thinking about buying one of them, buy one of these.
Forget about
it. Machine.
But of course, when you're talking about the comparison between those two things, is that we are really dealing with 4 different layers of the air here.
Yeah.
We're not just vaporizing eucalyptus into the air. We're actually humidifying it. We're cleansing it. We're ionizing it, and we're aromatherapy.
That's a big point.
And that's the biggest
amazing.
point. Yeah.
It's amazing the rubbish you get out of the cone. That,
I know.
And that's what you don't think. You think, oh, this looks beautiful. I've got nice, clear water. But then what you don't realise is that you're very, very quickly going to end up with the dark coloured water because you're purifying your air.
Exactly. And when Ted says cone, you mean this bit, don't you? Are you watching the screen, Ted?
I'm on. No.
No, you're not. That's okay. I'm just showing everyone the cone that you're talking about.
It's
you
the spindle.
Yeah, the spindle. You get all of the black around it.
Yeah.
You know, and that simply comes off. We're going to show you how to clean that shortly. But that is, you know, for me, because, you know, when we are talking about, again, something we can't see or touch or feel, it's only apparent when, A, our health goes and we can't breathe, and, you know, every 3 seconds we need to breathe, or you start to see those particles that would have been going into our lungs in the water.
Well, it's the same with water. I don't know that there's anything nasty in the water until I read in the newspaper or I see on the news there's some kind of bacterial infection. Please do not drink the Sydney water. That's happened to us a few times.
Yeah.
It's the same with our air. You can't smell bacteria, you can't smell fungus until it starts to build up in such mass proportions that you start to get that smell odour. And Ted, again, for people that are utilising this, that it has made such a difference, you've had all of the contraptions in the past. Now this is going to be something that's going to be in your bedroom, in your living room. You've just got to keep getting them, don't you?
Well, we're getting another one.
Yeah.
We've only got the one.
Yeah.
Yes.
Which we have in the bedroom, but we're talking about getting another one.
Good on you.
Thinking so I can't go out buy a dozen.
Yeah.
Well, you only really need a couple, because you just need one in your sleeping environment and one in your living environment, because it does such a big area.
Yeah.
You know, so good on you, Ted. Thank you so much for being part of the show. I mean, I love that, you know, you were a skeptic first, because most of us are, and we think, oh, there's so many gimmicks, there's so many fads, and when you're in the situation that you were, you know, you really will try anything.
Yeah. And is your wife Margaret there? Is she able to pop onto the phone?
Oh, great.
We love being able to chat to the
Here
whole
comes the
family.
culprit. Yeah, we want to know the... Okay. Bye,
Margaret, are you there?
Hello.
Hello, Margaret. How are you?
Not too bad.
Now,
Well
how are
done,
you?
love.
Obviously, we talked to Ted, who is suffering from emphysema, and he does have that respiratory illness. But for yourself, how have you found Breathe has benefited you?
Benefited me. It cleans the air. It cleans the bacteria and allergens out of the air.
Mm-hmm.
And the best thing, or not the best, but one of the very good things about this machine is if it doesn't help you, it won't harm you.
Yeah.
Yes, well, that's such a good point. You know, I've never thought about that, and I mean, I guess we could use that analogy for all of the natural therapies that we have here at TVSN. Is that it's not going to hurt you.
No, that's it. And on top of that, you get, especially with Breathe, you might not be able to see, it is purifying, so you know that that's working. The scientific research that has been done behind this product, you know that it's working. But as a subsequent benefit to that, you get the humidifying effect in the air, so you're getting the moisture level for your skin.
Yeah.
And for those of you that are over 25 and starting to see the first signs of aging, it is great for aging as well because the moisture's in. But you're also getting the feel-good smells of the aromatherapy.
Oh, that's the thing, and we can spend a fortune on fragrances, and I guess, Margaret, you don't really need to do that anymore. When you've got, if you're anything like me, you don't need to be buying any fragrances and all these sort of air fresheners and all those putrid things that actually make it worse. You know, they make your air quality far, far worse. You don't need to be doing that anymore. It really does have the nice features as well as the therapeutic features.
That's right. That's right, yes.
Well, thank you so much, Margaret, for talking to us. It's always great to be able to share your company and also great for you to be able to pass on the message. Have you got a final word to people out there that are still thinking whether they will or will not buy this machine today?
Oh, I'd say buy it. You cannot go wrong.
Yeah. Well,
Great
you've made
advice.
a big difference to Ted's life. So well done, Margaret.
It's made a huge difference to Ted's life because the doctor was thinking about giving Ted an oxygen machine.
Right.
Really? Gosh.
And when he went back after using this one, he didn't need to be put on oxygen.
Oh, yay.
Fantastic. Yay.
That
Good
is
on you,
awesome.
Margaret.
Yeah. Awesome.
Take care and stay in touch. We want to hear next time it's going to be 50% better.
Yeah, that'd be good.
Thank you so much for joining us. See you, Margaret. Bye, Ted.
Bye.
Bye. And again, Carla, we think about health benefits not just for people who have got emphysema, but also for people, say, for like yourself, and you are expecting. If you go and have acrylic nails, and I know that as a hairdresser myself, I used to get really cross at people who would say, don't colour your hair while you're pregnant because, you know, and yet they would go and wear lots of makeup, or they'd go and have acrylics, or they would go and, you know, use products that were chemically toxic. If you do have acrylics and you are expecting, take this with you. Please take this with you, because a lot of nail technicians wear the masks, and it's not just about the toxic acrylic-based product that they put onto your nails that is in the atmosphere, but it's also when they grind your nails back and those nails are going into the atmosphere. I mean, if that was me, and I never had acrylics while I was pregnant, but I would sit over the Breathe while I was having that done so that you're not breathing in individual nails, and not just your nails, but other people's nails that go into your system while you are pregnant. You've got to really be cautious when you're doing that. This is portable. If you are going to your nail salon, if you are going to your hairdressing salon, sit this right in front of you.
Yeah.
It's easy.
What about
for
if
you
you
to take with
own
you.
a nail salon? If you own a hairdressing
yes.
salon, if you own any kind of retail business,
Restaurants,
anything like that where you want to create a better environment for your clients no matter what, then you want to be able to have the Breathe in that work environment as a business expense. Now, it's time to do some updates, because as we've been chatting, lots of people are jumping on the phones to get the LED base as a single purchase, but remember, we do have it as a special pack. $79.50. This is going to give you the added benefit of colour therapy, the lamp, the ambience, as well as all of those other dimensions that we've talked about.
And I think what a great addition to your home, what a talking piece as well. I think the price point, $79.50, great value for money. Now, you've also got the pack on its own without the LED. So if you are perhaps grabbing a second unit, if I was purchasing this today and I had a double-storey house and today was the first time I would buy it, I would buy the starter pack with the LED light, and then as an extra purchase this.
Yeah.
So the one in your bedroom can be the LED light, the one in the kitchen can be without, or what have you if you've got
Vice
two
versa.
upstairs. And that way you're saving on your postage and handling if you're buying two purchases. 200138.
Oh, now these two, always the new flavours go crazy, because we all want to experience new flavours. These are the large sizes. So in the starter packs, you get the little 60 mils. In the large one, you get the 200 mils. Now this is the green tea, uplifting, refreshing. Just imagine, you've just made a big pot of green tea. How does it smell? It's divine. We've had it going this entire show. That's the flavour that we put into the Breathe unit. It's $29.50. You put a splash in there every couple of days. It's going to last you a good couple of months. 200275. And when you sniff it, I don't want you to think that's the smell you're going to get, because it's quite strong.
It is quite strong, but you're getting that overtone. This is what we've got in our unit today. We've got the green tea in. And the first thing I feel when I smell it, and smell by incidentally is the strongest sense that you have. The first thing I think of when I smell it is detoxifying.
Yep.
You get
Very
that instant
cleansing.
sort of cleansing
Because
smell.
remember, all of them have a base of tea tree as well, so you're going to get the undernotes of the tea tree as well. That's the base, and then the green tea is the aromatherapy oil in there. Now, the peach is really quite dramatic, quite warming, do you think, Kaz? I thought it was quite a warm aroma.
I couldn't agree more.
Yeah.
I think this would be, a lot of guys love sandalwood.
Yeah.
And this to me
quite
is
heady.
very much that, it's a very strong smell. In a good way, it's it's not floral. It's fruity. It's the it's not the floral, sweet, sickly peach smell. You know how some lotions and so forth are it's more of the fruity, fresh peach.
And with both of these flavours, they are long lasting. So if you've had the green tea before, you remember the green apple? Comes in the starter pack, and you've had the green apple, and you add green apple back with any of the other, the jasmine, the grapefruit or anything, it will actually prolong the aroma of that whatever dose you've put in there. These two are both long-lasting fragrances. So the peach, as well as the green tea, as well as the green apple, are the ones that are going to last you the longest, but they also mix really well. So play around, mix them back. You know, use jasmine with the green tea.
Now, what you're talking about there brings me to a very popular customer question. We haven't been asked it today, but it's something that I really want to bring up, because I don't want you to get this at home and then return it because you think, you know what, I can't smell the smell in my unit. There are two reasons as to why you may not smell the smell. First and foremost is our bodies become accustomed to every fragrance we smell. So like, for instance, you might have a signature perfume that you've worn all day, you can't smell it, you think, do I need to fresh up? Then all of a sudden you'll walk past someone and they'll say, oh gee, you smell nice.
Yeah.
They can smell it, you can't smell it. So we do become accustomed to the smell. Just because you can't smell it doesn't mean it's not working.
You'll
It
smell
is
it when you come
working
home.
all the way through. The second reason is if you are getting it for 48 hours, what happens is the aromatherapy in the tea tree is eating the bacteria that harbours in. So it then wears down the smell because it's using its energy, the aromatherapy energy, to kill the bacteria.
Yeah.
So it will tend to deplete the smell as well. So if you can't smell it, doesn't mean it's not working.
No, and it could be that it's working hard because you've just cooked salmon,
Yeah.
or you've just had the doors open and
Yeah,
there's lots
or
of
it
pollution
means that
coming.
you've been around it, particularly on a Saturday. If you've got a dinner party at Saturday night and you've had it going all morning, people will walk in and go, oh wow, that smells fantastic, but you've smelled it all day, so you can't smell it. So you don't have to increase the dose because you can't smell it.
No.
Use the right dose and it won't be overpowering.
Exactly. Now we've had a customer question come through. Susie from Balgala.
Hello, Susie.
Hi, Susie. She has a daycare centre in Balgala. Using it with children. Wow.
So safe.
Absolutely fantastic.
No, well,
So
see, with the
beneficial.
most aromatherapy products, they come with burners. So this doesn't come with a burner, and it will never burn out. Say, for instance, Susie, your daycare centre closes on Friday afternoon and you come back Monday morning, you think, oh, I forgot to turn my breathe off. I forgot to fill that with water. Even if it runs out of water, it just cuts off.
Yeah.
It's got an automatic cut-off switch, so you will not burn out your unit, and it won't be a fire hazard in that
I've
sense.
let mine run for, and it actually ran for like hours on empty.
Yeah.
And it just hums along, you know, and then eventually it will shut off.
Yeah.
You know, because sometimes you just forget. But you know what? The thing is that it's more so, gosh, the air in here is different. Look over. There goes the breathe is
And do
virtually
that
empty.
test. We have customers who run it for 48 hours and then they stop running it for 48 hours.
Exactly. Okay, now we've actually just had a question come through from a customer about maintaining it and cleaning. Should we do that, Kaz?
I think so, shall we?
No parts need replacing ever. We're not changing filters. The only thing you're going to do is buy your aromatherapy oils, you know, every month or so, every time we do the shows, or you can also get the item numbers and go onto our website, speak to the operators and buy them at any time. But all you need to do is, and the clever thing is that I love, is that this carries to the sink. You don't have to unplug everything.
No, you don't.
So you only take the lid off, you put that down, you take this over to the sink, and you, if it's dirty and you want to replace the water, you tip it out. If it's just gone very low, then you may just want to top it up.
And can I point out on that, Susie from Balgala, these pieces are not made from glass.
Yeah, it's all
They are
plastic.
actually made from plastic. a really good strong cake. So if the children were to swipe this off the bench, the worst thing that would happen would be that you'd have water on the floor, which is not necessarily a bad thing. Just grab the mop and mop it up. The oils themselves don't hurt a sealed floor, so it doesn't matter if the oils get on the floor or even in your carpet. The oils are not oil-based, they're water-soluble, so they're not going to, if you spill it on carpet, it's not going to affect the carpet like you would expect. Just make sure you mop it up and dry it up.
Now, we're going to take out depending on how bad your ear's been, because there's certain rooms that'll be different, there's certain periods of the day or month that will be different. You just check it, because every time you feel it, you're going to be able to see the dirt build up. Now, all it is a slight lug, so Kaz is just going to twist it round. No screws, no screwdriver needed, no Allen key or anything.
Nothing.
Just
your
twist
fingers.
it. Yeah.
And I use my fingernails, but you might like to just use the edge of your finger. It's pretty easy. I find that I don't tend to get good leverage if I do it like that. Like I've just undone it by squeezing that. But what you do is you just simply unlock this and then pull that out, and then you can just wash that under nice cold water. I actually run it through, the little things you clean brushes and bottles with. They've got a little end on them that you can clean the teat out for babies' bottles. I've actually got an old one of those, and I just stick one of those down the edge of it so that we can clean it. And then you just simply pop it back in, and then we lock that in.
And you may just want to wipe around that top bit so some of the dirt might get around that top bit. And that's it. And you do that as you see it.
No filters to replace, which is good.
No filters. There's no ongoing cost apart from the aromatherapy, which of course is a delightful thing to be buying. Now, another caller, fantastic, Nessa.
Nessa,
how
how are you?
Hello, Carla. How you going?
Good, how are you? And
Thank you.
You're a very, very busy shopper, apparently, I'm being told.
Yes.
Yeah, we get alarm bells going off when people like you phone up, because you're one of those people that shop with us just about every single day. Tell us about Breathe.
Oh, I love it. I collect witches, and it just has cut down the dust in my lounge room heaps.
Ah,
what do you collect, sorry?
Witches?
Witches.
Yeah.
Little witches with little witches with broomsticks?
Yeah, witches with broomsticks.
I got you right. So of course
they laugh and they giggle and they collect lots of dust.
Fantastic. Actually, I'm so glad you said that, because I notice a reduction in the dust levels in my rooms as well, because when I actually moved my breathe unit from the bedroom into my spare room when I was doing some work in the office, and I noticed going back into my own room, thinking that dust has built up over just a couple of days.
Oh, because it sucks up the dust as well.
Yeah.
Did you find that, Nessa?
Yeah, it does a fantastic job with sucking up all the dust. Like I get sinuses and my younger son gets sinuses, and it's just fantastic for the dust in our house.
Right.
And how have you found the sinus problem? It's cut down?
Yes. When I have my breathe air system on, I don't use my sinus drops and stuff as much.
Is that right?
Yeah.
Isn't that fun? And what about the aromatherapy? What's your favourite flavour?
Green apple.
Yeah. I love it.
A lot of people love the green apple, don't they? I like eucalyptus.
Yeah, I like peppermint and eucalyptus. They're my two favourites. Mind you, I do love jasmine. I think jasmine's my overall favourite.
It is a pretty good smell.
Yeah.
And the best part about it is, and you would have found this, Nessa, as well, not only is it helping with the dust and the air purification, but you're not just spraying a smell around and 5 minutes later it's gone. Like you have to go through a lot of air deodorizer if you want to keep your house smelling like that all day. Whereas this has got the smell permeating all day. You don't have to keep spraying, you just turn it on and forget about it.
Yeah, and I noticed it also has cut the mould down in my bathroom, and I have it in my lounge room.
Oh.
Cut the mould down. I don't have as much mould in my bathroom anymore.
Well, of course. It's actually...
I think it's just fantastic.
Isn't that incredible?
I've got two girlfriends that come around, and I had one girlfriend came around, her little son was sick, and I said to her, here, take this home, and he can go in the lounge room everywhere in the house.
Yeah.
She had a humidifier in the bedroom for him.
Yep.
And I said, well, take this home and use it. And when she brought it back, she brought me the money back and said, here, can you get it yourself another one? Because, I'd like to use it.
Wow. Isn't that funny?
Yeah, okay, no worries, cool.
Wow. Isn't that incredible?
My other girlfriend got one as well, so, yeah.
And I love that you've added, we keep discovering new dimensions to this unit. The fact that it's actually going to improve the dust as well.
Yeah, we live in a pretty dusty town, we live in Port Hedland.
Right.
And it's with BHP, so it's quite dusty here. So my house is always dust-free generally. So it's good.
Fantastic.
Cuts down a lot of the dust.
I love the difference. I love hearing those stories, Nessa, because it's those sort of stories that people think, oh, I can associate with that. I do have a little bit of, you know, dust and dirt. I do have mold in my bathroom. Oh, maybe that might help me. And it's not until you hear from people that have had respiratory problems or, as you say, hay fever, that you actually think, wow, this makes a difference in people's lives.
Yeah. Actually, I remember, Nessa, I don't know if you remember, we had a competition about 6 months ago. We had Pick the Face at the old studio.
Yeah.
And we had Breathe as one of the prizes. And the lady actually emailed me, emailed the call centre because we can't take emails directly, but it got through to me to say, I would never have bought it, but now that I've won it, I can't believe it.
Yeah.
And now I want to buy all the oils. I mean, this one here that I'm breathing now is your favourite, Nessa. It's the green apple.
Yeah.
And have you tried putting a little bit of this in your wash?
No, I haven't actually. That's a good idea.
Yeah, apparently I haven't tried it myself.
I've actually put the tea tree and the eucalyptus in the wash